Right. Hien. Parley on the front lines. We must leave now to convene with Eorzea's leaders, and it may be some time before I return to Doma. Hakur, I leave you in command. My lord. I shall assemble an advance party with all haste and join you in Ala Mhigo forthwith. I've just received word from Lys. The Alliance has established a base camp near Ala Mhigo's northeastern border. Once we've arrived in the locks, we're to report to a resistance officer stationed in Porta Pretoria, who will point us in the right direction. Let's not keep them waiting. Okay. So, once more, to the other side of the world. Whee! Bertha. I wonder how many soldiers survive thanks to these brave birds. Indeed. Yeah, I think we found the guide. Here we are again, ready to fight the same foe. Ah, you must be the Scion party I was told to look out for. If you follow me, I'll take you directly to Alliance headquarters. Why yes, we shall accompany you. Got people from all of the nations here. Hi, Lys.
Welcome back, you two. Greetings, Lord Hien. Glad you could join us.
Glad to be here. I would have come sooner, while our own defense is not in question, but I am pleased to report that our soldiers are assembling for deployment to Ala Mhigo as we speak.
We're grateful for your support. Thanks to the efforts of our allies, it won't be long before we've established defensive positions on this front as well.
Things are coming together.
We have some good news too. Alphino has come back to us. As for the bad news...
You're not in good way.
So, Alphino won't wake up, Gaius van Baelsar is alive and hunting Ascians, and the Empire is planning to poison us all with toxic gas. Does that sound about right?
It sounds oddly comical when you put it like that, and yet, yes, that is exactly right.
Ordinarily, any one of those things would have left me in shock. But the way things have been lately, it's all starting to seem pretty normal.
I'm not entirely sure normal, but...
Getting back to your report, are we sure this Black Rose is the weapon Maxima was talking about?
It fits the description. And it seems we have Alphino to thank for sparing us an early demonstration of its effectiveness. I have a feeling this won't be the last time his bravery in the Empire will serve us here in Eorzea.
Actions or dialogue that hint at things to come.
The threat of an unknown weapon has had us all on edge. But now that we know what we're dealing with, we can take steps to defend against it.
Gas masks. Ether bubbles. Who knows?
For Gaius, I'm not sure what to think. Am I happy he's alive? Not in the slightest. Am I happy he's hunting Ascians? Aye, I'd have to say I am.
Oh, speaking of Garleans you didn't expect to see, we have a tale of our own, as it happens. When we sent envoys to the Imperial Army to request talks, they returned with the message that Varissos Galvus would be attending.
The Emperor is attending the peace talk.
The Emperor himself? Well, Varus did sanction the Popularis peace mission.
Huh.
But knowing that an Ascian walks in his son's skin, I do not see how we can trust him or anyone from that nest of vipers.
Especially not the grandfather.
The Alliance would proceed with negotiations regardless, if only to give ourselves more time to prepare.
That's a good plan.
We do, however, require your cooperation.
Okay.
Right. Yes. So, as a condition for the talks to go forward, the Empire has requested that a member of the Scions be present. There'll be a representative from each Alliance nation, of course.
Well, of course
but
we're going to be
I'm
there.
afraid we have to ask that you come along too.
God, Lise. You know how much I hate politics. But then, what choice do I have? Alphino and the others aren't going to do it.
That's one way of putting it, yeah. Send me! I will talk.
Very well. I shall attend as the Scions representative.
Because I'm basically the only one left, apart from Kryl.
In case you're wondering why I didn't ask you, the Empire also requested the presence of Eorzea's champion.
Wonder who that might be. I'm not fond of politics either.
Oh, you're not, are you? Come on, if Alize can put on a brave face, then so can you. Now, we don't know what Varus means to bring to the table, or why he wants you there, but having you close at hand should make all the difference.
That has tickled me.
Place on the border. Anticipating an early assault, we mean to position the bulk of our forces nearby.
The Alliance leaders should already be on their way. Once you're ready, we can head out and join them.
Okay. Charlatan could not negotiate peace with the Empire. Rather doubt war can be avoided here, but every moment we steal for our preparations will count in the final reckoning. Is Emperor Varus enthralled to the Ascians? That is the question. He is not, but... Would the Empire decide to ignore the rules of parley? We could be fighting far sooner than we'd like. Keep your weapons close. It is always attached to my back. See? Here it is. Well, I don't suppose it's polite to keep an Emperor waiting too long, shall we? Why do I get the feeling this is going to go horribly wrong? Ooh, this is all very Imperial. It's these guys again. Hello. Justinian? No. Emmerich. That cannot be a comfortable outfit to sit in. And spreading.
Esteemed representatives of the Eorzean Alliance, on behalf of the Garlean Empire, I thank you for inviting me here today.
What's going on here?
As this parley was convened at your request, I invite you to speak first.
Very well, Your Radiance. I, Nanimo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, should be pleased to oblige you.
Go on then.
As recent events in Ala Mhigo and Doma have made plain, the subjugation and exploitation of neighboring nations is not a sustainable policy. Should this day end in war, you may very well defeat us, but you will never extinguish the people's desire for freedom. Though it may not be in our lifetime, there will be another revolution, another war, and the cycle will continue.
A message that perhaps people in the real world could learn.
Doma has entered into a concord with the nations of Eorzea, a partnership wherein we recognize one another as equals. Garlemald could be afforded similar treatment. You need only set aside your ambitions and join us in paving a path towards peace.
A bold ploy. Play?
You will not win me over with sophistry, Your Grace. As you know only too well, this alliance lacks the strength to keep the peace within its own borders. Even now, your struggles with the Beastmen continue unabated.
That is true.
Divided, you sow this fertile soil with the seeds of your differences and reap naught but discord and chaos for your trouble. Eorzea must be united under one leader, one purpose. I would offer you both and bring an end to your strife.
With all due respect, Your Radiance, the only thing that you offered the people of Ala Mhigo was fear and hopelessness.
Burn. Shh.
The citizens of Doma can also attest to the meager arms of imperial rule. There is no purpose to be found in a life of oppression, each day more uncertain than the last.
Our people are willing to die for their freedom. A great many already have, and countless more will, if we don't put an end to this madness here and now.
We brought order and stability to your lives. This madness and bloodshed is of your own making. You broke the peace, not Garlemald.
As would all dictators say. It's your fault.
Peace. Order. You kill our peoples, despoil our lands, take everything that is ours. And what? You expect us to lick the boot that grinds our faces into the dirt?
Something tells me this isn't going to go anywhere.
I expect you to weigh the costs. To recognize that countless lives have been lost on both sides in pursuit of a greater good, and to not squander all we have achieved in a fit of petulance.
Not entirely sure that argument's going to work. Calling them children is probably not going to end well.
Your Radiance. I fear I can personally attest to the dangers of pursuing one's vision with such righteous fervor.
That is true.
For 1,000 years, the Holy See of Ishgard waged war with dragons. 1,000 years of sacrifice, of sorrow and hate, in which we bathed in the blood of friend and foe alike. Had it gone on any longer, we may well have drowned. Yet we have chosen to raise ourselves out of this bloody spiral, and have since made peace with our former enemy.
Indeed.
So I understand. No doubt the dragons were more receptive to your overtures in the wake of their leaders.
Is he planning to try and assassinate everyone?
You speak of peace, yet use war to achieve it. Your father would not have bothered to obscure his intent with honeyed words. He understood that strength is all that matters in the end.
The problem is, to an extent, Varys isn't wrong.
Without his clarity of vision, I can but wonder what will become of Ishgard and her people.
We've already seen people fighting back against the dragons.
There was a time when Garlemald too lacked a leader of conviction. Weak and unable to wield magic, we were at the mercy of the strong from whom we sought refuge in the bitter cold of the north.
Ooh. History on the Empire. We haven't had a lot of this.
Were it not for the discovery of ceruleum and the subsequent development of magitech, we might never have gained the power to take back that which was rightfully ours.
You speak as if your people were the first to have been driven from their homes. Limsa Lominsa was built by wayward souls in search of a place to call their own. On the shores of Vilbrand we found it. And from those humble beginnings did we grow and flourish. And all without robbing our neighbours of their liberty.
You are a nation of pirates, though. Wow, were.
So saith the pirate. Am I to believe that you simply asked the kobolds to yield up their lands and that they were happy to oblige you? That you did not drive them out like rats in the hold of one of the many ships seized by your privateers? I will concede that after centuries of exile, reclamation may be mistaken for invasion. Nevertheless, it is not. And those who till stolen soil have no right to object when cast out in turn.
Your uncompromising nature rivals that of the Ixal. They too lament circumstances which they themselves perpetuate. Were they but to embrace peace, we would welcome them with open arms. Indeed, some few have done just that, and now receive of the Twelve's Wood's bounty.
Peace.
Would that your people might learn from their example.
You dare compare us to the Birdmen? You who thought to invoke the 12 and threaten all of creation?
You can tell this story's been planned out for a while.
Finding some speck of common ground, but I see now these discussions will accomplish nothing. Despite what you people may believe, I am not wont to choose the sword over the olive branch. 'Tis but a pity men are loath to accept one without first being shown the other.
Wait, I beg you. This meeting was supposed to be a chance to find a way forward together, not to bemoan the missteps which brought us here.
Ah.
Please,
Eorzea speaks.
if you truly consider violence a last resort, there must be a way we can come to an agreement.
Begging isn't a particularly good bargaining tactic, admittedly, but Eorzea is no diplomat.
As Mistress Alisaie says, we did not come here to bicker over the past, but to discuss how we might strive towards a brighter future. Emperor Varys, may I suggest a short recess, that all present might compose themselves prior to beginning anew?
Well, we are trying to play for time, aren't we?
Very well. I pray this intermission will suffice to move these talks in a more constructive direction.
I'm not entirely sure how we can move forward, though. As far as Varys is concerned, it's his way or no way at all. Let's see what people have got to say. I do much wonder at Emperor Varys' decision to attend these negotiations. It's plain he has no intention of hearkening to our entreaties, but what then is his goal? It is true that Limsa Lominsa's beginnings were not wholly honourable, but our old wrongs do not make the Empire's deeds right. For years have we warred with the Empire and with no end in sight. A parley such as this represents a unique opportunity, and I would not squander it with bitter words. Varys holds fast to his ideals, just as I knew he would. Will not be swayed from this path. Why do I get the feeling the Emperor is hiding something? Well, we kind of know he is. For a moment, I feared our talks would descend into violence there and then. Eorzea speaks of her dislike for politics, but her honest plea may very well have prevented an early battle. Whatever rebuttal I had in mind was lost when Varys mentioned my father. The man is certainly skilled at keeping his opponents off balance. Take it, we can't go and talk to him. Eorzea! Phew, this is not really my forte. Really not my forte. After his Radiance's little performance, it was all I could do not to swear at him. I honestly don't know how I ended up playing the mediator. Just asked myself what Alphinaud would have done. Tried my best to do the same, and by some miracle it worked. Yeah, I've no idea why Alphinaud is any good at doing what he does. The little twerp. But there really is no common ground to be found with that man, nor do I think he looked for any. So the question becomes, what did he come here to do? Because you may be certain it wasn't to make peace. Whatever it is, I cannot make it out, not yet at least. We do have a little time before the parley is due to reconvene though, so why not try consulting our illustrious leaders? Mayhap they have some insight to share. Merlib! I'll say one thing for this Varys, he is well versed in Eorzean history. His interest in our affairs is that of a beast in its prey. Conqueror would know his enemies. Art. All should know their enemies, and there is much more we do not know of the Empire. And it's up to us to change that here and now. Ha! You would have me ask the Emperor himself? Well, maybe there is some wisdom in that. If we can skirt the storm of his displeasure, we may yet come to our answers, even if it does mean sailing close to the wind. Nanamo! 12 have mercy, but for Lady Alice's timely interjection, we might well have come to blows at the negotiating table. Not that Emperor Varys left us a great many options. It is unconditional surrender, or is unconditional surrender all he will accept, do you think? Here he arrived, I'd have said yes, but having heard him speak, I cannot help but think he came here with some other end in mind. Exactly, he's building up to something, I know it. How then should we approach the rest of the parley? Have you anything to say, Warrior of Light? Say nothing of Xenos or the Ascians, or invite Varys to explain himself. I believe he is more apt to reveal the truth if we put him at his ease. I hope you are right. I wonder whether this is actually going to inform the dialogues that people use in the next stage. I mean, I'm fairly certain it's all going to end the same way. But I wonder if it will give us a little bit of agency in terms of perhaps conversations and what we as players want to know. This parley was never likely to bring peace, but I had hoped to learn something of Emperor Varys' relationship with the Ascians. As had we all. Yet if he is in league with them, he is not like to volunteer the facts. And if he is not, how much weaker would his position seem for their presence? If we are to broach that particular subject, we will need to be subtle. Would that I knew more of the man. If you would indulge me, Lord Hian, you received an imperial education, did you not? Is it true that the Emperor's will is considered absolute? There is no higher authority in all of Golemalt, nor else in the heavens come to that. Veneration of the gods is forbidden, the only worship permitted being that of His Radiance's own person. That does sound suspiciously like a religion in itself. I share your disdain for their hypocrisy. Even as they denigrate the idea of faith, they revere their leader with a fervour others reserve for the divine. There's a flaw common to much of the doctrine they fed us. Logical on the surface perhaps, but contradictory upon closer examination. I wonder if a discussion of the various discrepancies might prompt Varys to reveal something. That is... interesting. You've spoken with everyone then? Good. Now all that remains is to await the pleasure of the Emperor and hope we fare better at the second attempt. Right.
Now then, who would have the floor?
Before we resume, I wish to offer you an apology. After you graciously accepted our invitation to discuss an armistice, we have done naught but rebuke you at every opportunity. I believe I speak for all of us when I say we are deeply sorry for our discourtesy.
This is the kind
I'll
of
admit
rousing.
your familiarity with our affairs surprised me, and served to remind me how little I know of yours.
Tell us more.
I think all here can understand the desire to reclaim one's homeland. But why expand further? That is my question.
If I may, the answer can be found in the Imperial doctrine they took great pains to impart to my people. Recognizing the threat icons pose to the world, Solus Zos Galvus decreed that they were to be eradicated.
Who is, of course,
To this
still alive.
end, he began a campaign to unite all lands under the Garlean banner. Or so we were taught. Yet the Emperor only reached the burn, the Baron said to have been laid waste by icons, after conquering all the lands that lay between. What is more, I am quite certain the practice of summoning was not nearly so widespread in the days before the Empire's founding.
See,
When
the
you put it like that, it
Scions.
all starts to sound like an excuse, doesn't it? But to distract from what? Why are you really waging this war?
Yeah, because it's the Scions that have this annoying tendency to teach people how to summon things, and the Scions are running the Empire. Ooh.
Finally, you ask the right question.
Who
I
is-
can but hope you heed mine answer and at last accept the righteousness of our cause. My goal is this: to return the world to the way it once was, the way it was always meant to be.
Before.
In doing so, mankind will be made whole once more.
That's why we're here.
No longer will we suffer from the dissension born of our differences. There will be but one race, a perfect race, as we were when time began.
What in Rulga's name are you talking about?
I am talking about the origins of the star, of the source and its 13 reflections. At the instant of the great sundering, 'twas not only the world that was shattered, but mankind itself. Thus were we divided into myriad races, each with its own unique imperfections. That is why man looks upon his neighbor and feels fear and hatred, why he wages war, why
Really?
he kills his brother. You all in your own way have proven as much today. The peace you seek is but a fleeting solution to a fundamental problem. One which calls for more drastic measures. To bring about everlasting peace, our worlds must be rejoined. That is the goal the Empire would see realized. The glorious future unto which we shall one day shepherd
But
mankind.
wouldn't that destroy everything?
A rejoining of worlds.
I have heard this tale of the source and its reflections before.
So have we.
Are these not the self-same desires as the Scions?
Emperor Varys, do not trust in their words. They will lead you to your doom. My father thought to use them, but in the end he succumbed to their temptations. He embraced summoning like so many other pawns before him. Do not tell us you mean to do the same.
To be a pawn, free from the burden of choice, would be a blessing.
But he's not a pawn, he's an orchestrator.
But I forswore that privilege the day I learned that the Garlean Empire was built by the hand of an Ascian.
What?
Revelations!
Yes. My grandsire, the former emperor, is of their number. And who better to build an empire capable of bringing about the calamitous change we desire? Would you condemn me for this alliance, for bowing to the will of these shadowy masters, when the prize is true and lasting peace?
Well, so you have been told. Oh, now that's an interesting choice. Your prize is to ally your master's demons. I will stop you in the Ascians no matter the cost. The thing is, we actually know that what we are doing is just as bad to an extent as what the Ascians are doing. The problem is that we are doing it better than they are, which is what is shifting the balance towards the light and therefore is setting us up for disaster.
I come not to conquer, but to liberate. To free man from the prison of divergence. Imagine a world united. One perfect race beneath a single standard.
Heard that before.
An army before whose might these servants of darkness and light would fly as leaves in a storm, never again to meddle in man's affairs.
Oh, so he wants to conquer so that he can fight back against the Ascians.
We would be the masters of our own fate. I bid you join me, not as subjects of Garlemald, but of a new nation. And together we shall win freedom for ourselves and generations yet unborn.
You want to trigger another half-dozen calamities? You can't be serious!
Have you forgotten how many died? There will be no one left!
Do you truly imagine we would aid you in your bloodletting?
It is unthinkable, unconscionable.
Kind of agree. And thus the parley comes to an end.
And what is the alternative? To be as cattle waiting for slaughter? I would have us work together that we might take fate into our own hands.
I can kind of see where he's coming from, but
Into your hands, perhaps.
Voice of Darkness.
But what of the other worlds, your radiance? With every calamity, you obliterate a star and every soul that dwells on it.
To the Ascians, we are all but tiny, momentary specks within an indifferent universe. We cannot hope to oppose them until we have been made whole once more.
Again, he has a point. But he's gonna kill billions of people to do it. He's got the right motivations, but he's going about it entirely the wrong way.
Truly the words of Garlemald's ruler. The flaws and foibles which you so abhor are what make us who we are. Every nation, even yours, Emperor Varys, is made whole through the combination of these imperfections, the strengths of one compensating for the weaknesses of another. While it is true that man succumbs all too often to anger and avarice, he may yet overcome his baser instincts through the forming of bonds with others, fostering community and cooperation. that the protector of an empire should not only reject these fundamental truths, but seek to change them at so dear a cost to life is indefensible.
Yeah. Smallest person in the room telling the tallest what's what.
Such a man is not fit to govern.
Oof. Nanimo burn.
And you, warrior of light, would you refuse me as well?
Absolutely. I would not condone such a loss of life. Not.
It would seem the Alliance is of one mind on this matter.
So bull off. We will fight you in the beaches.
You Eorzeans never cease to disappoint me.
Boo-hoo.
Though I suppose I have only myself to blame for expecting more from savages.
Says the guy who wants genocide.
This discussion is at an end. I bid you make ready for our next meeting. It will not be at the negotiating table.
Not an unsurprising result, but we were buying time. Those two keep on showing up in the background. I wonder if they are of some importance. Are they Varys' personal guard? Well, his grand plan is to bring about more calamities. This is insanity. This madman must be stopped. Ah, yes, Yugiri and the reinforcements have arrived. I'm glad we arrived in time to aid in the battle. Though our vanguard may be small, these few are our chosen elite, the finest warriors of the Far East. We suspected Ascians meddled in the shadows of the Empire, but the truth is far beyond my wildest imagining. At least now we know the face of our enemy and need not hesitate to strike at its heart. So yes, the Ascians weren't meddling in the shadows of the Empire so much as they were the foundations of the Empire. I was born in the Empire, but I will never serve the Emperor. Only the Eorzea commands my loyalty. Send me to the front lines, if you please. We'll give the Imperials a taste of the Maelstrom's cannons, not to mention my axe. Pippin! My first engagement as Flame General, and it's a full-scale war with the Empire. I feel some measure of nervousness, of course, but I swear I'll make my father proud in the battles to come. Makes a twisted kind of sense that the Empire was built by the Chaosbringers themselves. The revelation yet rattles me. But now that we know our enemies are one and the same, we have a target upon which to unleash the full force of the Alliance. I refuse the Emperor's words with all my being. What justice is there in an ideal that demands the sacrifice of so many? Now that we have learned the Emperor's true purpose, war has become an inevitability. It's times like these I curse my own uselessness in battle. Yeah, has Nanimo ever actually done anything to prepare herself for battle? Can she not cast spells or... I don't know. Lucia! The Temple Knights have deployed in full strength. Eorzea's future is Ishgard's future, and our fates ride upon the outcome of this conflict. The Ascians are terrible... The Ascians are terrible beings indeed, that they would found an entire nation to further their dark designs. It would seem that the Empire's history is as sinister as Ishgard's own. The Empire exists to wage war, and war it shall have. With its vast armies pouring like the tides themselves, this could very well be the greatest military threat the Eorzea has ever faced. I came back to find Doma's advance party ready and waiting for battle. So as worrying as our little chat with the Emperor was, it did buy enough time for at least some of our allies to arrive. Cha-ching! Face of war. Having listened to Emperor Varys' maniacal plans, Lys is ready to go to war. You seem to be standing in the middle of a table. Or was that just like the perspective being
I'm not
off?
sure what I was expecting from our meeting with the Emperor, but it wasn't that. Still,
No.
at least we know now what he's really after.
Yes. Utter destruction of everything.
Aye, a future built on a mountain of bodies. I too want the Ascians dead, but not at any cost.
The last of the reinforcements from Dorma arrived not long ago. I pray it will be enough. Given the Emperor's stated goal, this is a battle we can ill afford to lose.
Yeah. Without us in the way, basically, the whole planet.
If the Garleans come in
Screwed.
force, we may not have much say in the matter, even with our combined strength.
Ah, but battle is where we excel.
We knew from the first that the odds would be against us. But if there is even the slightest chance of victory, we must do everything in our power to seize it.
It.
We must seize it, full stop.
Here!
Here, here! Lots of random people running around in the background.
The two of you are to join an irregular unit and support the main host. I won't bother asking if you're minded to fight.
It's all we're good for. We're certainly not diplomats.
After coming this far, how could I not? And for once, there's no one around to countermand me. Not that they would. Not even my brother. But we all know who really make the difference. Ready to frighten some Garleans?
Nod. Called it.
I wouldn't want to be on their side.
Might I ask you to accompany the Dorman contingent? They are strangers here, and your presence would do much to raise their spirits.
Okay then.
We would be honored.
When our people stride out with you in their midst, I dare say the Eorzeans will feel an ilm taller themselves. High spirits have a way of spreading.
Truth.
What I wouldn't give to join you. But my duties as field commander will not allow it.
Also,
I'll leave the front lines
you
in
are missing
your
an
capable
arm,
hands.
Mabana. Oh, it's the speech music.
Comrades, ready your arms. The hour of battle has come. May the crystal guide us to victory!
Oh, that looked really awkward for that one night. Out of the way, cursor. Out of the way.
Since the others couldn't be here, we'll have to fight twice as hard. If Alphinaud wakes to find the Imperials have won, I shall never hear the end of it.
Truth, he is a little whiny.
It's strange. I thought I would be terrified when the fighting started. I should be terrified. But with you at our side...
Oh, don't say that.
I can't help feeling everything is going to be all right.
But it's not, though. Because we've all seen the trailer for the next expansion.
So please, don't you dare leave me alone.
Oh no, foreshadowing. Is Eorzea going to be called?
No matter what happens, we have to survive together.
Resolute face. Quest accepted. Ow. Oh! Oh. The Gimlet Dark. The Gimlet Dark. That is the dungeon. Right. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. Remember to ring the bell to be notified when new videos go live. And until next time, toodle pip.